Howdy guys and gals. So today we're going to be talking all about Bitcoin. What is happening with Bitcoin? Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? What are my price predictions for Bitcoin in the short term and in the longer term? So if I put all our trend lines back on, at the moment, what I am seeing with Bitcoin is a battle of resistances, and I'll explain what that means. So basically, we're on the 4-hour chart right now, and at the moment, we've got a whole bunch of resistances here at play. We've got a longer term resistance, which I'm going to make purple here. We've got the shorter term resistance, which started in May and has been respected multiple times, and we've got this previous resistance here that was respected up until July, basically all the way down from 48,000 to around 20,000. So let's have a look at this previous resistance to see what happens when Bitcoin breaks through them. So you can see that this gray line here that we're tracking, the previous resistance, has been respected multiple times by Bitcoin. You see once, twice, 3 times, and 4 times here. And basically this resistance is in play as Bitcoin falls all the way down to July region. Now you can see here on the July the 18th, Bitcoin rises above this resistance and not just kind of tickles it, and just goes above it in a shy manner. It literally breaks through in one candle above this resistance. And what's interesting as well is it tests it again. So the price does come back down, as you can see with this red candle here, but then it bounces back off again. So basically there is a large price action every time Bitcoin does break the resistance, and when it does, you can see the price shoot up here. Now obviously not all's well is ends well, because actually what happened here was that we've got this kind of rising wedge form, and a rising wedge is a bearish pattern, and that's exactly what we saw with the price dipping back down below this rising wedge here. So basically we're following another resistance to date, and this one is super interesting, guys, because obviously this one's also been respected a lot of times as well. So this one could dictate what happens to the price of Bitcoin in the near future. You can see it's been tested there, and there's been a lot of tests in this region. In fact, you can see Bitcoin is really respecting this resistance here. It's not once dipped above this line of resistance. So that is a very strong line of resistance here. And also we're in a strong area, a price area here. This is very historically important, between the 18,000 and the 20,000 region. So this could be a very interesting time for Bitcoin. Basically, if we don't see a break in price through this resistance. Oh, and by the way, if we do, we could see the price of Bitcoin do something like this. Obviously not as clean as this, maybe there's a few bumps along the way, but we should see the price hit 22,600, 22,700, as that's quite an important level for Bitcoin. As you can see, if we backtrack that line there, it crosses, it's been the level of support way over here as well. So 22,700 would be my price target if we can flip that resistance, but that's a big if. Now if we don't flip that resistance, what we could see is something that looks like the previous 2 flagpoles like this, where the price actually just tanks. I believe that the next price target from here would be the low 18,000s, if not all the way down to 17,000, as these 2 places are historically important. Again, if you look at where my line is, you can see 18,000 was basically the low of the low back in the 18th of June there. But also, if we cannot hold that level, then we could fall straight down to 17,000 with Bitcoin, with this resistance line respected. But of course, you do want to track the price with that resistance line, because if Bitcoin can break this resistance line, then again, we could see something like we saw over here with a nice little pump in price. Now, what do I think is more likely? Well, it really does depend. Obviously with Bitcoin, it's super correlated with the stock market, so really you want to keep your eye on the stocks and everything as well. Check the pre-markets, check how the S&P, how the Nasdaq, the NDX is doing, and everything like that. And if they fall in price, then Bitcoin will too. So definitely check the stock market to see which way it's going to go. At the moment, I'm very, very unsure because the stock market now has dropped below its previous pump. So it did pump over the past few weeks where it got to a point where it's overbought. So that's why I think we saw this fall in price with Bitcoin, because the stock market also dumped quite a lot. But now we're at a point where things are becoming oversold. So I really can see this scenario where Bitcoin breaks through this resistance onto our next resistance here, this yellow line at the 22,700 region. But at the same time, we could see the stock market fall, and if that does happen, then we're heading to 18 or 17,000 first. So those are my predictions. I cannot say for sure which one's going to happen, but what I do want to say is look out for this line of resistance. This is going to be your best friend at the moment. We're in a very interesting area for price for Bitcoin, so make sure you have this line of resistance drawn on Bitcoin. If it's able to break the resistance, then we could be heading in a bullish direction towards 22,700. However, if we cannot break that resistance, expect the price of Bitcoin to fall, kind of similar to the distance of these flagpoles here, this flagpole and this flagpole. So we could see the price go down to 18,000, 17,000, etc. So keep your eyes peeled for that, guys. That's all I'm going to say in this video, but I will obviously constantly make update videos if anything changes. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you do like these videos, like this video and be sure to subscribe to this channel. Until next time, see you later.